Hi, course creators! You ready for another edition of Let's Get Your Course Done and Out to Market? Today, we're talking about a line I get a lot of time from first-time course creators, which is, I'm afraid to publish my first course. So we're going to talk about that today. And hi, I'm Gina Onativia from the Course Creation Boutique. I see Monica is on and Alex are on. Hey guys! So a lot of times when you're first starting out and you're creating your course, it can be scary, right? When I used to work for Tony Robbins, Tony would say there's two primary fears, that we're not enough or we won't be loved. And when you're putting yourself out there, it's scary. You feel like you might not be enough, right? With your course. You might not get students. They might not respond. You might not sell. These are legitimate fears, but you won't know what's going to happen until you put yourself out there. And today I've got 3 steps to get yourself out there and to help you publish your first course and kind of push you over that threshold and get you going. So step 1 is I want you to think about shifting your identity, okay? So right now we get a lot of coaches or therapists, educators, folks that work one-on-one and then want to bring that expertise online to many. So you've got to kind of shift that identity from feeling like a coach or a therapist to a course creator. So I'm going to bring up another Tony example. Tony used to say that you have to shift your identity and you have to assume a kind of a new identity, right? Whenever time you want to break a habit. So for example, my husband, Alex, who's on right now, he used to be a smoker for 20 years, okay? So he was a smoker and that was part of his identity. He was like this bad boy and smoking was just one of those things that he did, right? He rebelled without a cause. And then he became a dad, right? Then we had Tristan, we had our son, and his identity shifted. He quit cold turkey and his identity became one of a dad, right? So he went from being a smoker to a dad. And now when he sees people smoking, he's like, oh, look at that guy smoking near that building or smoking near that house. How dare he? So you know his identity is completely shifted because he's making fun of smokers or he is looking down at smokers, right? So you want to shift your identity as well to one of course creator. You're not just a therapist. You're ready to bring that expertise to many online. So that's step 1, shift your identity and own it. Now, step 2, how do you shift your identity and own it? You put yourself out there. You jump in with your content. Well, what does that mean? So I want you publishing your content immediately. So maybe you've been thinking about that blog or podcast or video, and I want you to just get it out there today. So I want you to jump in because there's nothing like turning on a new identity than putting yourself out there, right? I'm on Facebook Live right now, and here I am live with you, and I'm putting myself out there. So I want you to do it. And by the way, here's a side note. Some folks I know have been planning to do a podcast, and they've been planning it for weeks or months, right? But I want you to stop planning. I want you to just go ahead and put the first one out there. Do your video, do your podcast, then people will see it, you'll start to get traction, and then you'll figure out the rest. That's where all the planning comes in. So you're thinking, Gina, you're nuts. I want to be able to plan it out and be ready to go. You're never going to be ready. What's that quote? There's never really a good time to get started. There's never a good time, so just go for it. And then you can catch up and start batching. And I'll do batching your content, which means just doing it in groups of 5 or 6 pieces at a time. And I'll talk about that in a future episode. So I think about my clients, Relaunch Love, these 2 women who were matchmakers for women who were divorced over 40. And now they're doing Facebook Lives every week, and it's awesome. And they're putting themselves out there as course creators. And that's what I want for you. So put yourself out there as a course creator with your content today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. So, and then step 3 is related to putting yourself out there immediately, is setting a deadline for commitment when your course is going to be done. So I want to refine this a little bit. I don't want you going around saying, my course is going to be done April 1st. I want you making a commitment towards marketing that course. So I get on the phone with a lot of people, course creators, and I always ask them, okay, when do you want to get your course done? And I know the folks who are going to get it truly done because they always have a deadline in mind. The folks who don't have a deadline, those are the ones who say, oh, I don't know, maybe in 6 months or so. I'm thinking to myself, you're not going to get this course done because you don't have a deadline in mind and you don't have any emotion tied to it. The folks who want to get it done, who say, I want it done by April 1st, have some emotion tied to it, right? Like they're frustrated it hasn't been done, or they're frustrated with taking on too many one-to-one clients and they're ready to reach many. But there's something driving them, usually an emotion, that they want to get it done. So those are the people who are going to get it done. So I want you to make a public commitment to marketing your course. Now, what does this mean? I have a friend, Sal, who's repackaging her first course, and we were talking about pre-selling her course. So now she's creating a webinar and she's saying, okay, she's putting a line in the sand and saying, I'm going to have this webinar ready to go by, I think she said, February 15th. And I'll have the first module done for the course. I don't need the entire course done, right? Just the first module if you're pre-selling, and she's gonna get it done. So she's made that commitment to market it. So your challenge this week is to put in the comments, what's your public commitment to market your course? Is it a webinar? Is it you're going to go on somebody's podcast? You're going to start writing articles and linking to a webinar? Whatever it is, I want you to make a public commitment to marketing your course and put it in the comments. So again, if you're afraid to get your first course out there, there's these 3 steps that I want you to take. 1, shift that identity to course creator. 2, put yourself out there with their content today. And then 3, make a public commitment, put in the comments how you're going to market your course and like when you're going to do it. Is it going to be February 15th, March 1st? Put it in there and let's get your course done. Let's get it out there. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this episode and I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.